and lifestyle features correspondent, Norman Busigu. Are we all in? Are we all in, Norman? Hi.
Hello.
Michael and Marjorie, thank you for joining me. Lovely to see you. Rihanna, thank you for joining us. Lovely to see you. Yay. Thank you. Busigu, you've been going around, you've been talking to people, you've been talking to mothers, you've been talking to people that have been on these marches. When it comes to, Black history, when it comes to the educational system in this country, how much people are really pushing for this, and what are they asking for? How are they going to do? How are we going to change it? What are we going to?
That's a very fair question, Pam. And first of all, I'd like to agree with the other comments raised about changes that need to be made with the education system and what's going on. There are two things that I think we need to rethink about as far as the future. One of them is really looking to the law, because a large part of the protests are calling for widespread systemic change to help overcome the racial injustice, to prevent these instances happening again and again and again. Because it's almost like being in a time loop. Like we had, just to name some examples, Eric Garner in 2014, Alton Sterling in 2016, and Stephon Clark in 2018. So it's
doesn't it?
So yeah, so with regards to where we need to go, I think it's two things. One, really looking to the law, and secondly, really utilizing the power of social media and youth in orchestrating this change. And that's what we've been seeing. So with regards to my first point about looking at the law, Eric Garner passed away on the 25th of May, and it's not even been a month yet. But from that time, we've seen a great amount of legal change that's taking place in America. And I want to list a few things, because I think this is the direction that we need to go in, insofar as combating the systemic issues that are at play. And I think this trend has to continue. So to list a few, for example, the Democratic leaders in State Assembly of the Senate have reached an agreement on 10 bills related to police conduct, including a ban on police chokeholds. So hopefully that'll prevent that instance of what we saw all in the viral video happening again. And I think that's a very important step. It's a deterrent. It's something that's illegal now. It's something that if you do that, you'll be terminated. There might be further legal repercussions. So that's a very important step that has to take place. In New York, the New York City Council leaders have declared their intention to slash $1 billion in annual police funding and aims to reroute it to youth social programs. That again is very important. Where is the money going? If it's not going to the police departments, how is it being redistributed back into the community to ensure that people have the opportunities to excel? In the Black African community, we speak a lot about generational wealth and keeping wealth, Black business and entrepreneurship, and how do we get wealth back into our communities? Well, the redistribution of wealth from the council back into the local community, I think, is a very important step. And what New York has shown there, I think, could potentially be the start of something great there, should it materialize in that way. And one last example, we're seeing in Minnesota, a resolution to replace the police department with a community-led public safety system. I think that's very important. And again, all of these things with a very specific law focus, I think, are the way that things need to go. It will be slow and it will be gradual, but I think given that we're all operating within this system, this is the way that it has to go. And we're seeing that within a month of the incident of George Floyd. We're seeing real tangible change. So now it's about continuing that. In regards to my second point, just to be quick here, the power of social media. What we're seeing now with the use of Twitter, Instagram, social media, this couldn't have happened 50 or 60 years ago, where the great leaders of yesteryear, for example, Martin Luther King, they didn't have social media, they didn't have smartphones or things like that. So the spread of information, the spread of awareness is so instant now. And if I look at some of the pros that we've seen from social media, let's look at donations and e-petitions. The George Floyd Memorial Fund smashed its 1.5 million goal and became the most donated GoFundMe page on the website. Again, it's not even been a month since he passed away. So that shows you the power of social media. And again, things like Blackout Tuesday on social media, celebrities, companies, people really using their online voices to spread awareness and to really highlight the change that needs to occur. So in sum, I think it's those two things. The law and the reliance on the legislature within particular countries or governments will be what have you, to really spearhead that change so that it's cemented, so that the systemic issues can begin to erode away. And secondly, the use of social media and really the power of youth in driving forward awareness and information.
Excellent.